before I get into this video, as you can see, now compared to my other videos, this looks really naked behind me. So I'm going to be doing some changes to my background here soon. I just haven't quite figured out what I'm doing yet. So that being said, now I'm going to get into the meat and potatoes of this video. Is Triple H putting together the be-all, end-all of tag teams down in NXT? Welcome back, everyone. This is Jason. Um, yeah, um, I saw a video. One of the guys that I follow on YouTube, um, and I'm sorry, I've only watched a handful of his videos. I can't remember the guy's name, but he was talking about Triple H putting a tag team together of Prince Devitt and Kevin Steen, and I was like, at first, I saw the video before I saw the picture on it was either Twitter or Instagram, one of those. It was Triple H's account, and it's Steen and Devitt both kind of facing each other, smiling, looking at the camera. They're both doing this. One guy's doing this, the other guy's doing this, and they're doing this. And okay, that could mean a bunch of different things. But now a picture came up tonight, and it's already going absolutely viral all over Twitter, Facebook. Everyone's reposting it, commenting on it, favoriting it. Steen posted it, Devitt posted it, and it's just everywhere. Article came up on ringsidenews.com about it. Go check it out. Um, yeah, these now the picture is Steen and Devitt in ring gear together, looking just badass. Steen's got a fight shirt on, and it looks like it's how you've had like the classic Steen, fight Steen fight on it. Well, this one looked like it was just like kind of like handmade in chalk or something, and it just says fight on it. Devitt, who a lot of people were questioning whether he was going to be allowed to use his face paint down in NXT, as now that he's joined the WWE. A lot of people wondered that. Well, now it's become quite clear from this new picture, at least for now, that they're letting him do that, which I think is incredible. I mean, he doesn't need it because his talent in the ring is what makes him stand out. But now you just add the makeup to his face, and it adds a whole new mystique to him. You look at past wrestlers that wore the makeup, guys like the Road Warriors or the Ultimate Warrior or Sting. You put on that makeup, and it adds something. It really does. It's a classic. It's a classic thing. Not everybody can pull it off, but those who have done it on a regular basis in the past and have made a good name for themselves, it is what it is. It's phenomenal. And well, if you're not familiar with Devitt, and I'll admit I'm just learning this year how good he is. I've been here and there, searching videos on YouTube of him wrestling in Japan and in Europe and the U.S. Because he hasn't been over in Japan the whole time, but he's been over there the last few years. And I've watched the matches with him and Pac and others. and man, it's good stuff. It really is. And if you can find recent stuff of him in Japan, he's got some interesting entrances with this with the makeup he's done. He did a bunch with um, Spider-Man um, theme. He's come out to a bunch of different Spider-Man themes. He had the black and white. He had the Carnage. He had the Venom. The Venom, I think, is the best one. Well, the picture that popped up tonight with um, Steen has him with he's all black and his face is the Punisher symbol, the skull, and yeah, it looks badass. It's sweet. It really is. Um, so so what does this mean? It means, in my opinion, it means that Triple H is putting something really special together down in NXT. I'm really I'm really excited about it. It's it's almost one of those things where it feels so big. If you're a big fan of theirs, you gotta wonder if, well, not if, but you gotta wonder how much time they're really gonna spend down in NXT. Um, if you watched the Journey to SummerSlam video featuring the well former members of the Shield, which I'm going to be doing a review on soon. Um, Tremendous special, especially if you're a fan of Dean, Roman, or Seth. Watch the special, you'll love it. It's really cool. It's a lot. Put it this way, I went into it with zero expectations, thinking it was just going to be stuff from the last few months thrown together and ooh, okay, now it's SummerSlam and they're doing really well. No, it's so much more. But anyways, my point of it is, if you look at guys like Dean Ambrose, Dean Ambrose did really well down in FCW. And FCW became um, NXT. It was rebranded, so Florida Championship Wrestling was no more. Um, it seemed like everybody who was on the roster went over in some way, shape, or form, with the exception of Dean Ambrose. And that's one thing that was featured in that special. He was like, he had a great rivalry with Seth Rollins down there in FCW, and then all of a sudden there was nothing. And but then he was brought, I'm trying to think of a timeline. 6 months later, that's a guess. I'd have to look. But I'll just say about 6 months later, boom, all of a sudden he was on the main roster and he was never even in NXT. The only time he spent in NXT was after he hit the main roster with the Shield. So that being said, you gotta wonder, with Steen and Devitt and all these new international additions to the roster, like Kenta, obviously they're going to spend some time in developmental. But if this is so, if this is such a big project of Triple H's, how long are they really going to spend down there? Are they going to be brought up to the main roster right away because they're so good? You got to wonder. I personally, I know, anybody who's a huge fan of Steen or Devitt is like, hell yeah, just bring him straight to the main roster. Well, I'll give you I'll give you a reason why they shouldn't. Um, the guys that are all down in NXT right now are busting their asses, and there's a select few that I would love to see um, rivalries with on the NXT level before they get brought up to the main roster. And if you're familiar with Ring of Honor, you know exactly who I'm talking about. Sami Zayn, aka El Generico. Who would not want to see Steen versus Generico, or Sami Zayn, whatever you want to call him? Who would not want to see Zayn versus Steen down in NXT? And it only would want you to see it that much worse on the major level. You know, SmackDown, Raw, main event, whatever. It's going to be huge. Those guys have such a chemistry. And, you know, guys like Adrian Neville, you know, who used to be Pac, um, throw him in the mix. And now Kenta is in NXT. Devitt, Steen, you throw all these guys in there. It's it's an independent wrestling fan's wet dream. It really is. The future looks damn good. It really does. I'm really excited about it. Um, and to be honest, not just the single rivalries that are going to go on down there within the next half year, and hopefully sooner than that. But you got to get them ready. You got to get them. You just how do I say it? WWE's got to put their own special spin on whoever they bring up. Okay. Um, there's very few guys that came up, through developmental that weren't changed in some way from the WWE. And one that I can think of that wasn't really changed much throughout his whole career, besides what he did to himself, would have been CM Punk. You know, CM Punk's always been CM Punk one way or another, whether he was a good guy or bad guy. Well, we'll see what the WWE does with these guys. We'll see how much they change them. I'm really psyched about it though. We'll see what happens. Um, when are they gonna come on NXT television? I don't know. The next special's coming up in September. I think it's September something, I believe. And if Steen and Devitt already have a certain look, how fast is Triple H gonna get them ready for this big special coming up? Because obviously this is big. This is really big for NXT. These guys being a part of it. So yeah, I'm really psyched about it. Very excited for Steen and Devitt. Um, so what are your thoughts on the tag team of Kevin Steen and Prince Devitt? Um, what's also going to be interesting is to see what WWE names they're given. That's also going to be interesting. Um, you know, John Moxley became Dean Ambrose. Pac became Adrian Neville. El Generico became Sami Zayn. Um, all these guys that we were so excited about coming to WWE's developmental territory, NXT. Um, Sammy Callahan became Solomon Crow. He's yet to make it on TV yet. Um, so yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm psyched about it though. Um, hey, there's some people that with them writing off Dean Ambrose on Raw. There's some people that are like, okay, well he's gonna go away for a while, and he's gonna come back with Solomon Crow at his side to get revenge on the Authority. Oh my God, how awesome would that be, right? All right, that's enough on this subject. What do you guys think? Are you psyched about this new tag team? We'll see if it stays together. Um, yeah, they could have some good chemistry. You know, um, as much as you love him or hate him, Triple H has got a good mind for this business. So let's see what this happens before we hastily put this down in any way. Just the fact that they're in NXT, let's be happy about that, guys. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below.